what I was going to say is that I hadn't really thought about this before, but obviously there's the obvious, the religious imagery of Daniel being like used as like a like baby Jesus or prophet type figure, and like the angel Daniel, he's performing miracles, blah blah blah. That's all obvious. But I think that there's something to be said that I hadn't thought about before about how Sean's journey in this episode can also be read through like a theological parallel, because I mean, he feels almost like a martyr, right? Because this episode, his journey has so much to do with him just enduring constant suffering in order to save Daniel.
Yeah.
And that, in a very different way, is reminiscent of the teachings of the New Testament, which is, of course, that Jesus like goes through these immense sufferings in order to save mankind. And yeah, so I hadn't thought about that before, but that's also a reading
That's
of
interesting.
what's happening here.
Yeah.
And yes, it's stupid and horrible that people would blame
Man.
Daniel for being brainwashed.
Yeah.
Didn't clean the pain away, but that felt good.
I can imagine.
Damn. You look bad. Gotta change that dressing soon.
Yeah, interesting. You never actually see the socket.
Yeah.
Karen
Yeah.
seems to be on the move quite often.
I was gonna say something else as well. Yeah, with Daniel, it's like not only is like everyone susceptible to propagandizing, no matter what you think, how immune you think you are, but also like he's a kid who's been homeless for several months and
Yeah.
gone through like immense trauma, including the loss of his
I
father.
wonder how long
completely
Karen has been
unprocessed.
here.
And
Did she see one of Daniel's...
then there's an adult figure who gives him a place to stay, and he has food to eat and a roof over his head and adult guidance. And regardless of the bad aspects of that, you can't really blame him.
No, and also like his parents and all of his parental figures have gone. Slash, like in this case, Sean is a parental figure, and there's this woman who's telling him that she will look after him, she will take care of him, and that she can be his family. Like, and she's manipulative as fuck, and of course he's manipulated. He's a child.
miracles? So Karen did check it out. Wonder if she saw
been
Daniel in
sleuthing.
action.
Karen's been Nancy drawing.
Yeah.
Love that for her.
Kinda pretty. Wonder if she made it. I know I shouldn't peek, but... whatever.
The condoms.
Karen did her own road trip to get here.
Listen, she's prepared for anything, and I respect that.
Turning forward to look back, making the same choice twice. My solitude days and dreamy nights just to find myself looking forward to turn back.
That's quite an interesting... It's quite an interesting poem.
Interesting how she still views, like, seeing her children. Like, even though obviously we will talk about, like, how we feel about Karen and stuff, but it's interesting that she views seeing her children as, like, going back,
But she's looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And she's kind of expressing this feeling of, like, she was running away from something, and she finds herself coming back to it and looking forward to coming back to it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which is interesting.
Karen does like to capture the world around her.
I won't read all this, but yeah, it's just interesting kind of observations of the people around her.
Glad to know she learned the lesson.
Well, I don't know. I think that Esteban and Karen probably planned.
Yeah, I think they
did some
wanted
plan-
children. I mean, you
I
don't
think-
have two
yeah.
kids by accident.
No.
This country's just way too big.
So I get the sense that Karen would not be anti. Well, I mean, everyone's different in their personal feelings about abortion, right? Like, there's a lot of people who are like pro-choice but wouldn't necessarily have an abortion themselves. But I feel like Karen wouldn't have done. I think,
At least Daniel's alive.
as in, I feel like Karen would have had an abortion
But
had
he
she wanted
seemed
one. You know?
Yeah.
Different now.
Yeah. That feels like the kind of person she is, but who knows what she would have done when she was younger.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, obviously her parents probably influenced that more than she cares to think about.
Yeah, so I guess even though we talk about, like, Esteban and Karen probably planned it, we know that Karen was kind of struggling with the expectations that she had on her.
Yeah.
Like, that she would settle down and have a family and blah, blah, blah. And I think that I guess I can sympathize with the fact that sometimes you do things because you've been told that those are the things that you want, and then it's too late when you figure out that you weren't sure
Yeah.
what you wanted in the first place.
I think a lot of parents feel that way. There's a lot of stuff I've read before about, like, people who aren't, like, it's a complicated feeling, right? Like, they don't want that to reflect on their child or, like, the way they feel about their child, but, like, that do kind of regret their decision to become parents, and, like, what, you know, if they made that decision again, they're not sure how they would feel. And I think there's a lot of, like, communities about it that are kind of healthily discussing it in a, like, realistic, nuanced way without just being like, I wish I'd never become a parent, but, like, you know,
Yeah.
if I knew what I knew now, would I have, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense, yeah. But I think that while I sympathize with those feelings and understand having those feelings, you know, my stance is still that she should have stayed. But
Yeah, like, I don't think that should ever reflect on your child and, like, the way that you treat your child and the way you know, yeah, like, I mean, a lot of it, yeah. Most of these people still have children and still very much, like, live with their children. Like, they have not left. That is not the solution, I think.
Yeah, and to be clear, by stayed, I mean that in a very broad sense. Like,
Yeah,
she could
like,
have
not
kept
necessarily.
communication, you know, she could have, like, you know, just kept up communication, like, paid child support, like, been involved in some way, even if it was different.
Yeah, like, that she didn't have to be completely disconnected. And I think that's what I find frustrating with her. But yeah.
I really should finish reading this someday.
It's a big book,
There's a lot in there.
but I know how you feel. Yeah, I'm at my point where I've made my peace with Karen, and also what's done is done. But worth talking
Yeah,
about.
she could have been a Zoom/Skype parent. I mean, she didn't even have
Be
to
right
live that
back.
far away, you know?
Yeah,
We'll find
honestly,
out.
she could have, like, gone on her trips and tried to find herself, but also, like, been involved in parenting.
Yeah, like,
somehow.
still living in, like, a bit of Washington or in Oregon or something, and, like, you know, occasionally, you know, saw them, like, once a month or even once every couple of months. It's just the fact that she's not even present. Popped out some for supplies. I'll grab some food in case you want to eat. New socks and shorts in the bathroom. All yours if they fit. Might be a good time to contact Jacob. His number is on the letter he sent. Be right back, Karen.
Jeez. It only took Supermom 8 years to give a shit.
Dear Mrs. Diaz, my name is Jacob and I worked with your sons Sean and Daniel on a farm in California. There were some problems and Sean went missing. I'm with Daniel now in Haven Point, Nevada. He gave me this P.O. box address, so if you get this, I think Daniel might be in danger. He needs to get help to get out of here. I can tell you more if you contact me at this number, 775-555-0118. Please hurry. Thank you, Jacob.
Also, yes, absolutely. You can get a divorce and still be a parent.
Yep. She coulda.
Like, there were options, right? There were options. And I think that once you have children, you don't get to just back out of having children. You have children now. That's your responsibility for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yay, technology. She came prepared.
So yeah, she has been doing some Nazi drawing.
And
The Reverend Mother doesn't look
I can't
normal.
hate on a Nancy Drew.
That's true.
You know, I really feel like we needed to make a Karen pros and cons tally.
Yeah. I mean, I think ultimately, like, that's
just for fun.
Yeah, but it's not a question we can truly answer, but
no, it's not.
But yeah, for funsies.
Much like a bingo card, I think it would have been a fun game.
Yeah. Reverend Elizabeth Fisher has spent her whole life as a humble disciple of the Lord.
Humble. Humble, is it?
Looks like a roach motel. But
Mustard Party 2.
nobody will find me there.
Hot dog man. Okay.
I'm gonna do it now just for fun. Please
Karen's
do.
always
Yeah, I don't
into
know how many
low-tech.
we've gone over already because we
even think
did
it's
some
the one
pros
she
and
had
cons for
back then.
Karen in previous episodes as well. But yeah.
We've come
So
a
we've
long,
got-
long way, buddy.
We've got Nancy Drew in pros. In cons, we've got
This thing
left
is
her kids
killing
and
my
didn't
back.
keep in touch.
I mean, that is
I
the
got
con,
bruises
isn't
on
it?
my
Like, I mean,
bruises.
it's the con to end all cons. Like, I don't think you really need much more than that in cons. It kind of is the thing.
Yeah, so I don't really feel like you can give that one tally. I feel
No,
like you can
I
give
think
that
that's like 5.
5.
Oh, do we want to update our? Oh, I didn't get any in
Thingamabobbs.
Wastelands. Damn.
Damn. We're not doing very good at collectibles.
Look, I never do. Yeah, I've
And
been
that's
shit at that.
fine.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that the whole Lisbeth adopting Daniel thing, which comes especially into play later on, of course, when we find out that she was filing adoption paperwork and filing to change his name,
Yeah.
is always relevant, but especially relevant because some...
I'm not going out.
Sorry.
Better wait for Karen in here.
You know, usually I avoid this language, but I really don't know how else to articulate it, so I'm just gonna say it. Some
This place is
fucking
quite
psychos on the internet are talking
Good.
about adopting
At least nobody will be
Palestinian
looking for
children
me
right
here.
now. Like, where do I adopt one of these Palestinian children? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, but you know, this is part of like a global problem
I
where
got a
like
few moments to myself, so
middle to upper
let's
class
practice.
white people are like, I'm gonna adopt like a racialized child. And there are a lot of reasons why that's a problem, but particularly in the
I wonder who
Palestinian
lives
case,
around here.
there's a strong parallel
so
to be
wild
made
and
to the experience of indigenous children in
huge.
Turtle Island. There's a strong case to be made that is complicity in cultural genocide, right? Because the
Okay.
Palestinians are an
Just draw
indigenous
now.
population.
Don't think about anything
who
else.
Israel and the Western imperialist core are trying to wipe out,
Yeah.
right? And part of the project of the genocide of indigenous people is cultural genocide. And you perpetuate cultural
I guess
genocide
that's an
when
okay
you
start.
split apart indigenous communities and
But I can keep
families
going.
so they can't pass on their language, their culture, their teachings,
Got a
their
good picture of
history.
it.
So when
I'm
we're
ready to
talking
draw
about
now.
like when we're talking about indigenous children in particular, which includes Palestinian children, we are talking about cultural genocide.
Yeah.
And I think that we should
I could
call
see
it that
myself stopping
when
by
white
this
people are
motel
talking
during a
about
road
adopting
trip.
Palestinian children.
Taking a dip in the pool after a long ride.
This is the one game where I don't have the collectible memorized. Yeah, me too, actually. I
I
think.
can't start drawing if I don't look at the subject first.
And
These
there
mountains
are
really
indeed
inspire me.
IOF soldiers who literally steal Palestinian children. There's that too. Yeah, I also saw a story the other day that the IOF
Alright,
sometimes
back to reality,
take Palestinian children if they're blonde, and they claim that they are stolen Israeli children.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's so much going on there. There's so much to talk about there.
Yeah.
But it's
Time to
always
hit up
funny
Jacob.
to me that people don't know that Arabs can be blonde.
Karen was
Like,
always into
I'm not going to
little
get
chicks.
into all of it, but
I even think it's the one she had back then.
you know, a lot of the world, there's obviously a history of mass migration, which is almost impossible to completely trace, which affects the way that ethnic groups look. And in the case of Palestinians, that history includes the history of the Latin Crusaders establishing states in Palestine, meaning that many Palestinians have ancestry from Western Europe because of the Crusades, right? Because the Crusaders came from Western Europe, from England, from France, from the Holy Roman Empire, and they created settler states that existed in Palestine for 200 years. During that time, Europeans lived in Palestine, and some of them married or, at least had children with the indigenous people. And that's one of the reasons, only one of the reasons, but it is one of the reasons why many Palestinians will have Europeans in their ancestry somewhere.
As with many countries as well, like, you don't have to have, like, I don't know, fucking pure ancestry from an ancient version of your country to be from that country and be part of that country.
No, there's a term for that.
Yep.
Race science.
Yep. And yeah, just assuming that any, like, blonde child can't possibly be Palestinian is...
Yeah, I need to learn more about
it's
this,
me,
but
Sean.
Sean? No way.
One sec.
I've been waiting to hear from you
Sorry.
for months.
It's okay.
So you found my note in your sketchbook?
Yeah,
Where are you? You have to come here, Sean.
I know. I'm not far. In a motel.
Good. Listen, I can't talk right now. I gotta go.
Wait! Daniel, how's he doing?
Meet me tomorrow afternoon on Brady Highway. There's a junction just above Haven Point. There's a wild mice ranch billboard there. I'll be there at 4.
Jacob, wait!
Wild mice ranch.
Be there tomorrow. Please.
I find it so interesting that this whole community, like, live in the same place as well.
Kill Bill sirens.
Damn.
So I need to
couldn't
learn more
really
about this
talk.
as well, but some
This is so messed
Islamic caliphates also have a history of enslaving people from Eastern Europe and Russia. So
so
they had a lot of
drained.
slaves who were like blonde and blue-eyed,
Yeah.
and so there was actually like a dynasty called
Let's
the
just rest while I wait for her.
Mamluk dynasty, which
If she
Mamluks were
comes back.
basically these Eastern European slaves who had been raised as warriors.
Hey, sorry it took so long. Fucking store
And
was
there's a
packed.
lot of writing of these, like, Islamic leaders who were blonde-haired and blue-eyed because they were like Eastern European slaves who then became like you could in the Islamic version, like historical like empires, when they had like slaves, you it wasn't necessarily the same way that slavery worked in the USA. Still bad, still slavery.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
But it had some different rules, and that included the fact that you weren't destined to be a slave your entire life. You could become not a slave.
Social mobility.
Social mobility for slaves. And also, the child of a slave wasn't necessarily a slave.
Interesting.
But that's one of the other reasons that Arabs can...
How you feeling?
Can
Nothing
look
broken?
white.
Altar boys don't fight fair.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Double cheese,
Altar boys don't fight
no
fair.
onion, right?
Sean,
That'll
you're
do.
starving. Just eat the hamburger. Oh, I want a burger right now.
Yeah, me too.
Got you some gauze.
Not from McDonald's
and,
No.
antibacteria stuff
or Burger King.
for your eye. Hey, don't wolf that down.
He's like, I'll
Or at
do what I
least take a
fucking
breath.
want. I'm hungry.
Like you care.
Sean, I do.
Come on, Karen. Don't act all hurt. It's too late. Where were you when I broke my leg when I was 13? Not with me. When Daniel got a bad flu a couple of years ago? You didn't sleep next to him every night. Where were you? Where were you?
Fair enough. So let's talk, because we do have to get your brother out of a cult.
I'm listening.
Yeah, true.
How did you two survive alone on the road for that long?
You know, I think that I've usually said get some help, but I'm in a curious mood today.
And also, like, I mean, yes, but like, they still did. You know, I feel like I kind of want to go the route of like we almost didn't. But then also, Dad taught us would be the kind of slap in her face that I imagine Sean would do right now.
Yeah, they're both a little of a slap. And I think I'm quite curious about Dad taught us because I don't think I've ever seen that option before.
Okay.
Dad taught me responsibility. He always wanted us to know how to take care of each other.
Good. How did you go to Beaver Creek?
You know I don't have to answer your questions, right?
You're right. So tell me what you want from me, Sean.
Nothing, Karen. I mean, what do you want from me? A fucking hug?
Hey, I just want you to know what I did and why, if you care.
If you even care.
So, ask me anything.
This is me, if you even care.
Okay, so Faye has posted a pros and cons
Yes.
list.
Pros. Shows up to offer her unconditional help to Sean to get Daniel out of the cult. She doesn't try to gaslight him or minimise his feelings or tone police him about her leaving.
Yep.
Nancy Drew vibes. Nancy Drew even sets a cult church on fire to help her son. Offers
good
herself
one.
up to the cops to help her sons escape. Also queer coded. Cons. Abandoned her kids and didn't contact them for years.
Okay, so we've got 6 on the pro side, and we've got 1 that equals 5 on the con side.
Literally.
So we've got just more pros.
Yeah. Just.
She's on thin ice.
She's on thin fucking ice. I think it's just a ask whatever question.
So what
isn't it?
exactly are you doing in Nevada?
Yeah.
You live around here?
No, I'm way out in Arizona. Sean, I told you. Your friend Jacob wrote my P.O. box and said Daniel was in trouble. That's it.
Arizona? Holy shit. It's just lizards and rocks.
Yes, I found something there. New York didn't really do me good, so
Oh well then.
All right. Why did you bail on us?
I wasn't meant to be a wife or a mother. I thought I was supposed to. I tried to pretend for many years, but I wasn't happy, and the urge to leave just became unbearable. I had no other choice.
Are you serious? You chose this life. You fell in love. You made your own choices, right?
Making your own choices doesn't mean you can never fool yourself, Sean. After I had Daniel, you were about 8, and Esteban's garage was getting busy. There was so much going on around me, yet somehow I just felt that my own life was just slipping away. Felt like an empty shell. Sean, it was the hardest decision I ever made. I knew I might never see you all again, but I took that responsibility.
I do wonder, like, I mean, obviously postnatal depression is very common, but like, I wonder how much of that she, because I'm assuming, I mean, from the way she's feeling, it sounds like she probably had postnatal depression, but
Yeah.
doesn't sound like she had any support for it.
That's entirely possible. I think that you're right, because yeah, I think now that you've mentioned that, like, the way that I've heard some people talk about their postnatal depression has sounded a lot like this, like feeling very dissociated from like their child and feeling awful because they feel like they should, you know, be full of like love and joy, but
Yeah.
they feel very like alienated and dissociated. And
But also that they feel like they're not a person, or not allowed to be a person beyond their parenthood, which
yeah
is, I mean, I think that's common even in people who haven't had postnatal depression, but it's yeah, it does sound like she wasn't getting support for it, and
Yeah,
I do wonder, had
yeah.
she had that support, would she have left?
Yeah, because I don't know, I think that there's definitely that and that's a huge factor. Especially like, you know, if she stuck around for 8 years, but then suddenly she was having kind of a spell where it felt like just unbearable to her. I think that with regards to what Sheldon said, like, obviously he didn't say anything wrong, like it makes sense that he feels that way, but in terms of like, you know, you make your own choices and like you decided to like be a wife and stuff, like, yes, she did, and therefore she should take responsibility for them. But just to kind of say that it's about the fact that we don't really make totally free choices in the society we live in, right? Like, she didn't freely make a choice to be a wife and a mother, in the sense that social pressures, like, obviously influence a person to make certain choices. And, you know, she described exactly what we were talking about earlier, that she thought that it was what she wanted because it's what she was supposed to want, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of how people talk about compulsory heterosexuality as well, right? Like, how does a lesbian end up being married to a man for 20 years and then suddenly being like, holy shit, like, that was never what I wanted.
Yeah.
It's because of that.
Yeah.
And I guess that also, if we, which I do think that Karen is queer coded, that could also be part of the equation. So just to, I guess, kind of sympathize from that point of view, but then equally the way that she talks about it is like, you know, I took responsibility for never seeing you again. That's not responsibility.
No.
Taking responsibility.
Yeah.
And
It feels
the
like
thing
she's
is,
kind of, there's like a little bit of white womaning happening here.
100%.
Well, I say a little bit.
Yeah. 100% there's some white womaning happening here, because yes, she took responsibility for her own emotions of like the negative things that she would feel about that, but she didn't take responsibility for how it would affect her children or
Yeah.
her husband,
Yeah.
which is the important thing here.
Yeah.
And 100% there has to have been, if she, like, you know, I don't know if she was talking to Esteban about how she was feeling and what she was struggling with, but surely there is a way to communicate what she was going through, which, you know, is very real and very painful, and find a way to uphold her responsibility to her family and try to find herself.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a way to do it, and I think, yeah, I think her.
Not to be a liberal about it.
No, but I think her approach is quite liberal in that it's very individualist. It's very like, I have to do what's right for me as a white feminist or whatever. Like, I have to leave.
As a white woman who is a feminist.
Yeah, like, it's actually morally correct for me to do what I want. But, like, it's also, like, yeah, like, again, as we've said, like, there's so many ways she could have explored, like, stuff. She doesn't even need to live in the same city, but, like, she doesn't need to be a parent 24/7 to still be a presence in Sean and Daniel's life and to not have completely abandoned them. And, like, yeah, there was just a way around it. It didn't have to be this extreme, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And I don't think Esteban would have ever begrudged her for, like...
No.
I mean, obviously it would have been painful, but, like, I don't think he'd have ever been like, wow, you can never talk to my sons again, you know? Like...
Yeah, this is the other thing. Like, Esteban was not the kind of guy, like, from what we know of him,
No.
who wouldn't be supportive.
Yeah. This is it, and it's like, if that's not what she wanted, he would... Especially if, like, she is gay and he found out, he'd have been like, get the fuck out of here, it's fine. Like, don't be with me. Because he's an ally.
Do continue to be a mother to your
Yeah,
sons.
please continue to be a mother to your sons. That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might go with Dad knew. Sorry,
Did Dad know about all of this?
I was honest with your father. We did family therapy, but it wasn't about him. It was me.
I feel like this stuff, like, now that I'm thinking about it through those lens, like, it has such a compat vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm going to say he was heartbroken. I don't think comparing them is helpful, because, I mean...
Yeah.
We already know Esteban was a great parent. We don't need to...
He was heartbroken for months after you left. Years.
I was too. I was in love with your father. He was the best person I ever met.
But just not enough for you.
Something was missing from the equation, yeah. I was.
Yeah. Okay. Think I've heard enough.
I didn't have a choice, Sean. We only have one life. And I didn't want mine to be spent in regrets. For years, I fooled myself, thinking I'd find satisfaction into what society expected me to be, and that was my mistake. I hope someday you can understand that. But I never stopped caring about you. For what it's worth, I am sorry for hurting you and Daniel and Esteban.
You've always thought about it in a compat way, Lost and Fairy? Yeah, I think the two things are true at once, which is that it would appear that Karen has been spending her life struggling with compulsory heterosexuality, which is something that very real that women struggle with because we live in a patriarchy. The other thing that is true at the same time as this is that she is indeed white womaning by surrendering her responsibility to take care of her racialized sons and support her racialized husband, even if she doesn't want to be with him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I can't remember what she just said that I'm responding to.
Me neither. Sorry. Classic us.
I'm just gonna say I know.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but...
I know you are, Karen. It still doesn't change the way I feel.
Yeah.
Of course not. I know I can't change the past.
Yeah,
Sean.
she did have a choice,
I
absolutely.
don't think you would. I need some air.
That's a pretty healthy way of managing that conversation, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's the kind of conversation where they just can't seem to understand one another's point of view, but they make peace with the fact that they can't.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them are ever going to know what it was like for each other, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Karen decided not to ever know what it was like for Sean. And Sean is never going to be able to know what it was like for his parent. That's just life.
Yeah.
But yeah, they both know how they feel, and they both know
Sean, whatever you
where
want
the
to
other
say
is
to
coming
me,
from. It just
this
isn't
is the time.
a solution. You know, there's no
Let's
solution
just
to it.
get it all out in the open. See what happens.
That line made me wonder that had it not been for the inciting incident, would Karen have ever contacted Esteban? Yeah. I mean, I don't
know.
know that she would.
Probably not.
Probably not.
But yeah, I mean, it also, I get the sense that she's been in Arizona for quite a while. Like, it's not just like a new thing.
Yeah, and totally agree. Megstar as well.
Yeah. I'll just go through the different
So,
things.
what did you do when you left? Where did you go?
I pursued some dreams and failed. Learned the lessons.
That's fake.
I guess all this time I tried to find out what really matters to me.
Which doesn't involve a husband and 2 kids.
It does to a lot of people, and I totally respect that. Just not to me. I wasn't good at making plans, which is what most of modern life is about, right? School, job, marriage. Ask my mom and dad. They wanted me to follow their rules, their faith.
Also,
I tried. but I
again, that
wanted
feels
to
so
find my
dismissive
own
of
way.
like, you two
with
were
no
never a
security
priority to me.
Yeah.
Family, religion,
just-
social norms.
These are things
just
that
all
you
about
should not say,
security.
and it's
After
not
all, it all
helpful
just
to
looked
say
like
them.
a sweet golden
But what she's
jail
saying
to me.
after that is
I
very...
tried to escape.
Yeah, like, so much of what she's saying I completely understand, and it's completely fair, but it's just this couching of like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that him being like, oh, so we didn't matter to you, her response to that was like kind of dismissive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was dismissive.
And I
Everything
think-
that she said after that was interesting though. I just want to bring it up because of what she said about security being a sweet golden jail. It really harks back to what we were saying in episode 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an act, and it was never really security. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, I just think that the way she says, I don't know, I just feel like there's because we know she did care about them, like, she said it broke her heart to leave, like, they were priorities, and it's just to not say that they were is really... And yeah, I mean, maybe we do hold it to higher standards as a mother, maybe we do, but like, I think for good reason, like, I think we should hold white women to high standards, you know? Because they know what it's like to be oppressed in some ways, but they also know how to use their privilege, and we use it often for very terrible things. And I think that, yeah, like, I will hold it to a higher standard than I would a white man, because I expect more, quite frankly.
Also, I don't think that we are holding her to a higher
No,
standard. I
we're
think
not.
We're being very fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty... This is, yeah, the same stuff I would say if it was Esteban and Karen was swapped, you know?
Yeah.
It just is. It's shit. Sounds immature. Yeah, I wouldn't feel better after this talk. It would just help me understand the situation. Yeah. I'll
Was
just
it worth it?
yeah.
Sounds immature.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
That's okay.
hope it was worth it.
It was. For now, I've found my place in the world, with like-minded people. I'm at peace with my fuck-ups and my decisions.
I can also understand how listening to someone say that they're at peace with their decisions when that included something that hurt you on like such an immense level would
Yeah.
be infuriating to hear.
Yeah, I'd be livid. Cause yeah, like when he says earlier, like she's like, oh, you know, if I did it again, he was like, you would do the same thing. You'd do the same thing if it happened again. Like I know you would. Like that's not helpful as framing because you would do it because
Yeah.
you chose to do it the chance you had. Yeah, and everything that she's saying about it is clear that she doesn't regret it. You know?
Yeah, this is the thing, and I think that it's part of the thing that, you know, sometimes contradictions and tensions can't be resolved, and
Yeah.
that's fine, and that's
Yeah.
something that we just have to sit with. And I think in this case, one of them is the fact that Karen does not regret what she did, which we all seem to be in agreement was wrong.
Yeah.
And, or at least handled in completely the wrong way.
Yeah.
And but at the same time that can't be undone, and what Karen does from this point forward
Is important too.
is good and important.
I'm gonna ask Peace.
How do you make peace with bailing on your parents, your husband?
Oh, I can make peace with
and
her
your
bailing on her
kids?
parents,
I know,
that's fine.
That's fine.
That's not the
literally
issue
fine.
here, Sean.
I think people should know who they are. And not fake it for anybody.
So, did you ever actually miss us? Or Dad?
Of course, Sean. I do miss your father. He had such a big heart. He could brighten up a rainy day. That was like his superpower. But above all, I missed watching you grow up. See how you saw the world.
You could have.
I missed sharing these moments with you, Sean.
Your loss, I'm gonna go with.
Sure.
Especially when she's kind of doing this whole, oh, I don't regret it thing. It's like, well, you do. Like.
Well, that's your loss.
I don't expect you to believe me. But I mean it.
I mean, I get you wanted to leave and stuff. Okay. But why would you ghost us like that? Not even a fucking birthday card.
I thought if I vanished, you would all move on. But I wanted
That's
to
so
contact you guys
stupid.
so many
Yeah.
times.
Like, it's just stupid.
That's just naive.
I almost did.
Don't know what she said just then.
I think almost that she almost like got back in touch, but
I'll say you wanted a clean break.
yeah, I don't think it's a good thing that she didn't.
No.
But you wanted a clean break from us.
I didn't want to be a part-time, pissed-off mother. Not fair to any of you. I left when Daniel was still very young, so he wouldn't remember me.
Oh, well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
I want to say you hurt him worse, I think.
Cool plan, Mom. You hurt Daniel way worse. He thought you took off because of him.
I know. I hope I can make it up to you, Daniel, someday. I can start by getting his ass out of that church. Cult. Whatever.
Whatever. You sound so careless. It's like you can't even realize how much pain you've caused.
I do care. It's why I'm here. To help you and your brother. If I didn't step up to help him now, couldn't live with myself.
Could have done that like 5 months ago when they're first on the run, but go off.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess she sent that one letter to her parents, but
I mean, yeah, but expecting Claire and Stephen to actually do anything of substance.
yeah,
Let's
true.
be real. She knew her parents, like...
Yeah, it's ridiculous to think that they would have just forgotten her mother. This is the thing.
This is
out of everything
wild.
that she said, that's the one where I'm like, that
Esteban
is
hated when I
stupid.
smoked.
Oh, I should have asked for a smoke. I thought I had
He
time.
didn't want me to die
Oh,
an
no.
early death. Fuck. Life
Yeah.
can be so cynical sometimes.
I don't know. It just...
I
Yeah.
remember he would smoke sometimes. Long ago.
We didn't fight much, but when we did, I would go out on the porch and light up so I could calm down. Esteban would come over and ask for a drag. And then we'd just look up at the sky and watch the stars. Or the planes. I do miss that.
I used to do the same thing with my best friend Lila. Smoking on the porch. Just letting time go.
That's when you know someone is good to you.
Hello, Arthur.
When you can just sit together, shut the hell up, and watch the universe do its own thing.
Oh, he's off again. Okay.
I do love this. This
Yeah.
moment, though. I really do. I think it's so interesting thinking about this whole interaction though through the lens of like the theme of faith and the choice whether or not to have faith in Karen,
Yeah.
because again, like, it makes perfect sense not to believe in Karen. It makes perfect sense to feel that way. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's framed as a choice, right? It's faith is a choice. You choose to have faith, or
Yeah.
you choose not to have faith, and you make that decision in spite of
What you
the good things
know.
and the bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, again, yeah, that's... You don't have to... And also, it doesn't have to be seen. It doesn't have to have material proof.
Yeah.
And, like... Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I just think that that's really quite powerful.
Yeah.
We should go back inside. I gotta change this dressing.
Okay, let's go. Sean, I know I can't change the past. Or what I did. But this is about helping your brother. You gotta trust me this one time.
That puts it into a decision. Do we choose to have faith in Karen?
I mean, for this one time, I'm more than happy to try.
Yeah, me too.
I think, yeah. Again, I haven't experienced this, but I feel like closing yourself off to ever being hurt is also a bad way to live life.
Yeah.
Because then you never experience what it's like if it does go well. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's still hard. But yes. We have to be a team to rescue Daniel.
We can do it.
Okay. How?
We need to get in touch with this Jacob. He obviously knows a lot more than us about the church.
Well, I called him when you were out. We can meet with him tomorrow.
Okay, good. I also got these, just in case.
Okay. Better take care
She's
of
so on her Nancy Drew shit. I love it.
She is.
Do you need any help with that?
I think I'd want to accept her help. That's
Yeah.
hard. Just from a practical level. And again, if you're giving her this opportunity to like be a mum for a bit, like, then yeah, I think this is something
Yeah, I
that a
think-
mum should do.
Yeah, I think when I've said yes, it's like he can do it himself, but it's a gesture not only of like for Sean like receiving help,
Yeah.
which is a good thing, but also it's a gesture of like, you know, I'm letting you demonstrate that you care for me, which is what you're saying that you
Yeah.
do. So show me.
Yes. Thanks.
So, you feel like telling me the story here?
When we have time.
Gotcha.
She's crying.
Hmm.
I didn't notice that last time I played.
Here, try this on.
How do I look?
Great.
Thank you, Karen.
Big day tomorrow, so we should get some rest.
Yeah. I'm ready to get Daniel.
I love how the game didn't shy away from the silence and intimacy of this moment. Yeah, I totally agree. There was something about that moment that made me just feel like I wanted to be silent and experience it.
I think also just things like her, like, I don't know, just like holding his head and like things like that must have felt like both nice physically but conflicting, you know? Like wanting to lean into it because it's nice, but
Sure he's gonna show up?
He better.
Yeah.
He promised.
Well, if he doesn't find us, we'll find him.
Karen's like, I'm gonna fuck shit up.
Can't believe how much crap you guys have been through. Makes
Sean's
me
like,
wanna
I can.
punch in the face each and every asshole that got in your way.
Yeah. Good thing we got to meet amazing people, too.
Life on the road is all about that. The sweet encounters.
Okay, Brody.
Hope I can see them again someday.
Well, at the end of the day, she is
Tell me about
white.
Daniel. What's he like?
What is Daniel like?
What is that? Oh, he's all of the above.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He contains multitudes.
He's an onion.
He is. I think I want to say he's special.
Okay, go on. Go on then.
Well,
Special little boy.
he's definitely special.
Hope so. He's your brother, right?
That's not
It's
what
up.
I mean, Karen.
Yeah.
Is that him?
As you will soon discover.
Yep. Wait here.
Like, I gotta say, a fully clean-shaven Jacob is not the look.
Oh,
Sean,
cursed. Yeah, he looks like he's gonna do some racial violence.
I
Like
don't
he
know,
does.
I feel like I feel like he looks like he's going. Yes, but in a specific way, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's going to go home and type YouTube comments with racial slurs.
Yeah, he's not gonna say it to your face.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very normal in person and then be a vicious little internet racist.
Yeah, exactly. Just to be clear, that's not his personality, but that is how he looks when he doesn't have a beard.
Yeah. I want to say, what were you thinking? Because what the fuck was he thinking? I know what he was thinking, but
yeah,
from
I
Sean's
think
perspective.
and I think that would be a reasonable reaction to have. In the
Especially
moment.
knowing some of his background, like...
What were you thinking, Jake?
I didn't know where else to go. Listen, I saw Daniel come back to the camp that night. Like, he was in shock or something. Then I heard all these sirens and I got scared. I packed a few things, I took a blanket from your tent and we left together. I also kept the cash you made on the farm. It's in my car.
Yeah, I mean, that was right.
Yeah.
You did right, Jake. Thank you.
You have no idea what he looked like when I found him that night, Sean. He was in bad shape, with a gunshot wound, and all by himself. I couldn't just leave him there.
I want to more ask, like, why he came back here than anything else.
Yeah.
So, you came back here after you escaped, but with a dazed little boy, and everybody was cool with that?
Trust me, it was not an easy thing for me to come back.
I think he just
And-
didn't know where else to
yeah.
go.
I don't think he
They took
had
us in.
anywhere else to
That's
go.
what they do here. They
Exactly.
take
So
people in.
I can't really hold it
Except they
against
didn't
him.
want to take
Not
me in
properly,
yesterday.
no. Like, I'm frustrated with him,
I'm
but
telling you.
yeah.
To be careful.
But I
with the
don't
Reverend
blame
Mother.
him, you know.
She's waited her whole life for somebody like Daniel. The Reverend knows how to manipulate people. She's good at this. He wants to stay with her. Daniel has faith in the Reverend now.
It's the name of the episode. It's the theme.
Ah!
I love it. Yeah, and and not to be like a not to be like everything has a reason, but because he did this, even in spite of the reasons why it's bad, that is the reason why Sean knows where they are.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have even known how to find him otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say I'm not afraid of her.
Yeah. No,
I'm not-
I can take her.
I'm not afraid of that bitch.
I can take her.
She thinks she's all powerful. She's wrong.
Yeah, not afraid of that Lisbeth of yours. I'm getting Daniel out of here.
Come on. There's no way they're gonna let you take him away.
Well, too bad.
It's not about
I'm
letting
not gonna
anyone do
ask
anything.
For their permission. You must be Jacob. I'm Karen. Hi.
Okay. I don't know if you want to do this.
Karen's in like her
I have an
middle-aged
idea.
white woman shirt dress. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
think
take her.
school
Her little
must be over
tunic,
now.
like, don't get in my
Elizabeth
way.
should stay at the church with Daniel for his special classes.
I'm wearing hiking
That'll give
boots. You
us
can't mess with
time to
me.
sneak into the compound before we get to them.
Not with this
I'll be on
cropped
the
hair.
lookout. Keep watch. in
You
case
Or this
go there.
amethyst
Sean,
necklace.
stay on the walkie.
Sounds like a plan.
One more thing.
Karen's against racism, and this is their uniform.
We have to get my sister too. Sarah Lee.
Really, Jacob?
No, don't.
Come on, man. She's with your parents.
I know. Please, listen, Sean.
Yeah, but in a cult.
She's not safe here. She's sick. They believe in everything Lisbeth says. And she says she'll cure Sarah with prayers. I know you understand. Right?
Damn, Jake.
We need his help too, Sean.
Okay, Jake. I'm listening.
Lisbeth knows what's wrong with Sarah Lee. We need to find her medical record. I think it's in her home office. Then I'll go get Sarah Lee while you get Daniel. Okay?
Fine.
Sean is 17
Sure.
years
I'm
old
gonna
and
trust
ready
you
to
on this,
fight
Jacob.
a religious institution.
All good for you, Karen.
I think
Yeah,
he's
he
still
is.
16,
What if
honestly,
Daniel
but
won't go with you?
Yeah, do we know when his birthday
will.
is?
I don't know.
I know him.
So it's
Daniel is
spring.
now
It's like
10.
April. Daniel's now 10. But we don't know. Do we know when? I don't think we know when Sean's birthday is.
I can Google
I feel
it.
like it was fairly recent from the first episode. Oh, 15th of August. Okay, so yeah, he's still 16.
He's still 16.
Anyway, he's 16 years old and ready to fight an institution.
Does that make him a Leo?
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah. Damn, that's the day after my brother's birthday. Lots to
Damn.
unpack there.
My mum's a Leo. Leo son.
Oof. Yeah.
Karen?
I'm in place. I can see the whole camp.
She was so excited buying those walkie-talkies. I just know it.
Got it.
I know.
We gotta be careful
Just
now.
like in that store, like, hell yeah.
Anything happens,
Yeah, I'm gonna
What do you do
save
the
my
talking, okay?
sons.
Yeah, of course. Let's get this
I'm gonna
over
do
with.
it with these walkie-talkies.
okay. Lisbeth's house is right behind the church, so in and out.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
sure Lisbeth will have those files on
Okay,
your
we
sister?
got a Leo son in the chat as well, next star.
Right outside.
Oh, shit. How many?
Just 3. A man with his kid on one side, and a woman alone on the other.
Got it. Thanks.
People aren't supposed to come and go around the church once the service is over. Better to avoid them if we can.
Kind of crazy that the church is off limits after the service. Like
I know,
that's
that
also
says a
red
lot.
flag. Yeah, that's a huge red flag because churches are, supposed to be like public
Yeah.
buildings that have opening
So,
hours where you can just
Did you grow up out of here?
hang out
No.
because it's a church.
In another community back east. When Lisbeth came out here to start Haven Point, my folks followed her and brought me along.
Must have been hard on you.
Kinda. 8-year-olds don't want to go to church all day.
All day.
Poor guy. Mission Impossible music intensifies. Yeah, my mom is a Leo, my dad's an Aries sun.
Yeah, okay. That's a combination.
Yeah, sure is. Which I think is why I'm an Aries rising. My dad, that is. But,
Okay,
yeah.
there it is. Looks empty.
Let's hope so.
Luckily for us, we never close our door.
My siblings are
Closed doors
Tauruses,
and
both of them.
closed heart, she says.
And I'm an Aquarius.
I'm an Aries. My brother's a Leo. My mom's an Aries. My dad's an Aquarius.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well.
Intense.
Yep. A lot of fire signs happening. And my dad in the
Damn
corner
it,
like,
religion is
ah!
depressing now.
We did it. Now we have a little bit more time.
Yes, we do. Nice work. So where are the files?
Right there, in her office. Ugh, of course it's locked. Her open door speech is just another lie.
We could have told you
Gotta
that,
find
honey.
a way in.
Fuck.
People aren't allowed to hang around the
there's a key
church once the
somewhere?
service
Maybe
is done.
she's-
Like,
Yeah, so
Too
the doors were going
cautious
to be
not to have a
locked.
spare set around. Whoa.
Are you? Evenings in here must be so much fun. Are you okay, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's just so full of memories and stuff.
Lisbeth sure likes to be on pictures.
Yeah, she does. interesting because when you think about it, in this episode, each Diaz brother has faith in a white
Confide
woman
and convince.
in order to solve their
15
problems.
So
steps to
true.
a good speech. Yeah, nice read for a saleswoman.
Although, I've never played a version of this where I just completely shut Karen out.
No. Well, I obviously haven't, but...
Whoa. This place is worse than army camp.
Ugh, cleanliness
Make
is next
bed
to
every
godliness.
morning.
It's such a ick.
Yeah, I know. Where does that even come from? Like, is that even from the Bible, or is it just vibes?
I think it's just white people vibes.
I think it's just vibes. Stupid white supremacist vibes. Make bed every morning, clean dishes after every meal, vacuum pool and room
This is
weekly,
a lot for a 10-year-old to do.
take out trash Monday, wash hair every 2 days, help with Sunday laundry, count your blessings daily. This is a lot for a 10-year-old.
Like,
This is a
cleaning-
lot.
He's... Because I presume she's also eating there and, like, sleep, like... trash and stuff like that, like she and Andel has laundry, like I'm presuming that's all from her too, like they're both living there, so he's cleaning everyone's dishes after every meal.
Yeah, it's not really clear. Like, is he expected to clean his own dishes or everybody's?
I was gonna say if it's his own
It's
dishes,
like-
that's one thing, but I assume
And vacuum hall and room, like, is that just his own bedroom and the hall, or I don't know. It still seems like a lot.
Yeah, I mean it because I think we see like the rooms in here, right? So obviously it's her she has her offices in here and stuff, so I think she lives here. I'm pretty sure she does. So yeah, he's like washing up for everyone every night.
Cleanliness is next to godliness gives white woman's burden. That's
This is a
so
lot of
true.
pills.
And also, white woman's
Especially for
burden
someone
is
who doesn't
genius,
believe in
and I'm
science.
going to be using that. So let me credit Mahi Kamihan for white woman's burden. That's so good.
Why does she have so many pills?
Because if she gets sick, then she gets pills. But if anybody else gets sick, then she will cure them with her mystical
Daniel's
powers.
haircut makes
given
much
to
more
her by
sense now.
God.
Yeah, she definitely gave him that fuck ass haircut. Jesus.
Ew.
Ew.
I mean, nobody is looking top notch here because Jacob brings the beard
Everyone's
back.
kind of a mess right now, but
Everyone's
it's
a mess
okay.
right now.
Did she teach Daniel how to play this?
God, I hope not.
I mean, organs are a sleigh.
Is everything all right in there?
Are they? No, they are.
I
They can,
love it.
They can
I
be.
Get
love
into her
organs. Are you kidding? I love
She's
an
locked it up,
organ.
so
Genuinely.
It has to be there.
It's a powerful statement. Like, you have to have your instrument fucking built into a building. Like,
Got it.
slay.
Yeah, and it's a sleigh. And it's worth the effort. They're so great. I
Does she
really
even
mean
believe
it.
in any of this?
I just love the idea of just having like a stand-up organ, just like in your house, you know?
If I could, I would.
No, not the
Nothing
beige
here.
pants.
Oh, same as Claire's.
Same as it ever was. More beige.
Nothing interesting.
Like, she got a white Jesus, obviously.
I swear. Even her bed looks stern.
Yeah, I mean, where's the color?
Yeah, that will definitely explain what's going on with Daniel.
Where do they come from? What do they mean? Why are you reading a book by some guy and not the Bible to figure that out?
You just thought.
Okay. What the? She's completely obsessed with his power.
Daniel tired after using gift. Nothing gives him energy after. New diet? Jesus. He acts on his own. Scripture won't impel him. Because he's a child. More prayer. More study. Daniel pouty today after lesson. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Not yet. Must show grace.
So
Trust
she's
in the Lord.
weighing up whether to beat him or not.
Yep. I did cry today after watching the miracles. The child must be a vessel. What will he deliver unto us, and when? Fuck.
Okay, I found a key.
Good. Let's try it.
Kind of want to do a little bit more nosing first, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Looks like the Reverend Mother got to this letter before Jake.
Uh-oh.
Jacob, thank you so much for telling me about Daniel. I'm on my way to Haven Point now, and please let Daniel know without getting him or you in trouble that his family's not forgotten him. I don't know where Sean is, and I hope we can find him too. I hope the best for you, and if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask for help. I'm there. Take care. Karen.
Well, shit.
She sure likes to gaze at her own success.
Left bumper and A.
Hey, I found your letter for Jacob. Too bad Lisbeth found it first.
She took it from the mail? Damn that woman.
Yeah. She checks everything that comes and goes into the community.
Jeez.
What a great fucking family portrait.
It's the fucking hair. Like, oh, he's drawn his hair.
It's giving Jean from Bob's Burgers.
It is! Oh my god.
Whoa, they kicked her out of church? Now they're thirsty.
Dear Reverend Fisher, this is Michael Bloom, and I know it's been a long time since we last talked, and I know our talk was not a happy one. Despite our differences, we all knew you were a devout spirit to be reckoned with. Nobody has been surprised by your words and deeds touching so many people. I hope you believe it when I say we are all proud of you. But we are also sorry and ashamed for asking you to leave the church without understanding the power of your faith. As we need to remind ourselves, mistakes can be life lessons. Even prideful deacons should be humble before the Lord's wisdom. We hope you find it in your heart to forgive us, and we would be honoured to host you for a visit anytime you wish. Bless you, Michael. That's interesting!
That sure is interesting.
It's the fact that obviously she was kicked out of her church, which, you know, says a lot, but also it's the way that church was like, now that she's like become really well known as this like figure, they're now like, oh, we're so sorry.
Yeah.
And like, it feels like a lot of what she's doing is some kind of, I guess in some way, like revenge for that. Like, I don't know, like kind of her trying to prove that she is the most
quite
religious.
possibly.
You know?
Yeah, quite possibly. If she was kicked out of her church, like, part of this is about her, like, proving that she's worthy or whatever.
Yeah.
Bullshit. White Jesus. Does it just say religious icon?
I think it does. Hang on, I can go back.
That's quite funny. It's also, I think it's also the same one that's in Esteban's garage.
I think it might be.
Hello, Carmen Remy.
Hi.
Will we play LIS3 or tell me why after? By LIS3,
Yes.
do you mean True
True
Colors?
We
Should we
have
pause
done.
quickly?
Whoa.
Yeah, sorry. We have done. Well, I obviously haven't on stream, but Sara and Daz have previously done Life is Strange True Colors on stream, and it is in a Let's Play, I believe.
Yeah, on YouTube, which I've just pulled up in the chat.
And have you guys played? I can't remember if you streamed Tell Me Why. Have you?
When Tell Me Why first came out, we also did stream Tell Me Why. Yeah, so we've got playthroughs already on YouTube, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility that at some point I would play them again and stream them.
I'm definitely be up for revisiting Tell Me Why at some point.
Yeah, because I haven't played it since it came out. But yeah, in the meantime, you're very welcome to check those out. And also we have video essays on both of them. which you're welcome to check out as well. But we love Life is Strange here. So
Yes, if you are looking for Life is
isn't
Strange
outside-
content, this is a good place to be.
So it isn't outside of the realm of possibility that we stream either of them again.
Yeah, definitely.
Is this her personal archive or something?
Yeah.
Also, welcome.
She keeps track
Yes.
of everything in here. Stuff about my sister must be in this one.
Okay, I've got something.
Very good choice. This is a highly
It
underrated
must be
Life
what
is
you're
Strange
looking
game.
for.
Yeah.
Damn. She has pneumonia?
Ooh, that shot.
And for what I get, Lisbeth knows damn well she needs medical treatment.
That's criminal. She's insane. Look, she has a file on you too.
You can take a peek and see how she really treats her flock.
Man, what's all this? Were you, like, sick? Conversion therapy? Did they... wanted to cure you from... being...
Pretty much. I always showed more interest in boys than girls. They thought I was a freak. A sinner.
It's interesting because obviously it's fucking horrible. It does make you think about Jacob, like, in episode 3 quite differently. Knowing that, like, he was kicked out of his community or, like, you know, forced to be in conversion therapy and stuff for being gay, and then when he finds this community, like, a lot of them are, like, openly, like,
Yeah. Queer.
openly queer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll ran away. I don't really know the difference, honestly.
Is that why you... ran away?
Yep. Took me 5 years to understand what was up. I was too scared. Confused.
5 years of
I
conversion therapy
really
as
did
well.
believe I was a sinner.
Yeah.
So I
Fucking
thought
hell.
I had to atone for my sins.
Like, that's... I can't even imagine how horrendous
Yeah.
that must
Yeah,
have been.
I can't imagine either. I feel like I don't know. I feel like my heart goes out to him so much for so many reasons, but I feel like it really explains like his demeanor as well. Like it's so much of the way he acts. Like he just feels like his spirit has been crushed. You know,
Yeah.
it's awful.
Yeah. I feel like reaffirming that it's not a sin. Oops, sorry.
Atone? For what sins? I don't get how they can preach this kind of crap. I mean... You met Finn and everyone. Are they sinners then?
Of course not.
I mean, Finn's a little bit of a sinner, but
I
that's
just-
for different reasons. Honey.
That's not because of the
No, not the gay thing. The,
the gay thing.
being
After
a
few
shit thing,
years,
you know.
I was in a really bad place. I tried to hurt myself. Elizabeth was very upset. We had a long chat. She told me I should leave. Go see the world and figure things out. I don't really get her, Sean. But Elizabeth does believe in all of this stuff.
I had no clue about your life here. I'm sorry, Jake.
I'm sorry I brought Daniel here. I was just so blown away when I saw what he could do. It was like a real miracle. I thought I'd found my faith again. Instead, I just hurt him.
I'm gonna say you didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think Jacob can only be accused of doing the best that he could under the circumstances.
Yeah,
honestly.
and like he didn't know where else to go, and he knew Daniel would at least be like physically safe there.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you know, he isn't, but you know what I mean, as in he's not like gonna be arrested.
Yeah, and he's gonna have like food and a roof and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I wondered about that decision. Lisbeth pushed away one of her devout followers. Do you mean Jacob? I think that, you know, my reading on what he said would be that it looks bad for Lisbeth if one of her followers, like a member of her community, hurts themselves and people find out about that. You know, especially if it gets to an extreme, you know, like if someone took their own life, for example, because of her. And that's the cynical interpretation, but
No, that makes sense though. Like that would be news, right? That could cause a lot of people to turn away from her as well if people in the community are like in a space where they might end their own life. Like that is going to potentially make a lot of people question their religion, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think you could interpret it different ways, but that's definitely my reading.
Yeah, like it's. I think as well, like he wasn't necessarily a devout follower of her, but a devout follower of Christianity, right? But like that doesn't mean. Yeah. I mean, clearly he didn't enjoy a lot of it, even when he was in the middle of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and obviously we don't like get to, you know, we don't get to know what happens to Jacob after all of this, but I think that, you know, people who have been through the things that he's been through, you know, there are many who sever their relationship with faith after that, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But not everyone does, and also that's not necessarily permanent. And that's, you know, Jacob's own journey. I think that from what we see of him, I feel like he wants to believe. You know,
he does.
He wants to believe in something. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really.
I mean, he possibly does believe. It's just that he doesn't believe the way that he has been taught he has to. Like,
yeah, 100%.
I think he still very much seems to want to choose faith. But it's just that he is conflicted about the church he is in and the things he has been told are faith. He is working through what he agrees with and what he doesn't.
I think for him, like, what he's been taught in a way is that believing in God and believing in Elizabeth are the same thing.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't believe in Elizabeth anymore, he finds himself wondering what it means for him now to believe in God. But not even just that, like to believe in anything, because I don't think it's just about believing in God, but I think that generally this quality that I see in Jacob, the desire to believe in something, is a really wonderful quality.
Yeah,
to have. So I feel like that makes me feel hopeful for him.
Yeah, for sure.
But poor guy.
Yeah.
You didn't know this would happen, Jake. His powers tripped me out too. Don't worry. We'll get him out.
I hope so. And I'll get my sister to a hospital. Have her treated. I hope they'll help her.
God, there are so many patches on Sean's pants.
I think last time I chose to say for Jacob, keep my money. And I think I'm kind of tempted to do that again. Because specifically, like, his sister's treatment will cost money and he probably doesn't have any. Like, if he's running away from his family, then he's not going to have any money.
Yeah, and I think that for now we have Karen.
And money is not really the concern here. It's getting Daniel back.
Yeah.
I feel like they are. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense.
Keep our money. For your sister. She needs it.
Oh, I can't do that, Sean. That's a lot of...
We're okay. It will cover her medical bills.
Wow. Thank you, Sean.
Sean, are you there?
What's up?
You got company. That thug who works for Lisbeth. He's just holding some files. Doesn't seem to be onto you.
This guy is dangerous, Sean.
Hey,
Trust me.
I have a good plan to get him out of your way. He'll give you more time. Just give me the word.
Do it, do it,
I was
do
like,
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
See what you can do.
I will. Get ready.
Sean, we gotta hide. Now.
God, I hate
It's
shit like
the-
this. Oh, fuck. Fuck.
Hurry up.
Trying. Ah, hide.
It's that one, I think.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean.
Arthur,
we need
what
to
are you
hide.
screaming about?
Life is Strange 1 flashbacks.
Yeah, literally, I was like, oh!
Find us here.
Which
We're
the first
screwed.
time that I played Life is Strange 1, I didn't figure it out. So David caught me.
Jacob, hurry up. What are you doing? Get it together. Closing the cabinet first helps. Oh, I don't know.
I know, I think it's too late now.
Yeah, I think
I
I
don't
think
know.
it is closed now. Oh, he's
Yeah,
like
I-
hidden
I
behind a
think-
door, I think.
I think we'll be, I'm sure we'll be fine.
I feel like we can only help ourselves in this situation, like...
Weird. Better tell Lisbeth about this.
Oh, the adoption papers are in the big cabinet as well. So we might be able to see those on our way out.
Okay,
Thank you, Lost in Fairy.
yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
What
Oh,
the fuck is
good.
going on?
Phew.
His life just flashed before his eyes.
Sean, do you think
It's gotta be Karen.
he's gone? Let's get out of here.
Okay, big cabinet.
Man, that was crazy.
Which one was
I
it?
really thought he was gonna catch us.
Maybe,
The guy's
maybe
leaving.
that one.
Looks
Or
like
is
my
it a big one?
diversion worked out.
Oh,
Yeah,
That one,
nice
maybe?
job.
Also, my mum just sent me the weather in Riyadh today because she's visiting, and it's highs of 26 degrees.
oh, imagine.
Wish I was there.
What is it?
I think that's the file Nicholas had. Take a look.
What? Is she trying to adopt Daniel?
Exactly. And she's doing it under the table, of course.
White supremacy. Cultural genocide.
Okay, we shouldn't be here. Are you ready?
Does
Bibles.
she read anything else? Yeah. Let's go.
You know, I think this is the thing. Sometimes you benefit from reading the Bible and also other things.
Yeah, I mean, there are other books.
There are other books. Like, I love
Look
the
at that.
Bible.
Your mom is hardcore,
I don't think it's
Sean.
a good thing if it's the only
Yeah.
thing you read.
Oh my
I
god.
guess she is.
Yeah, did you not know she did that?
So we're all
She
good
did
now?
it, but I can't remember if
I'll
it
go get
was
Sarah Lee.
the
I'll
same
get Daniel.
in my playthrough. Like, I think
the car,
she...
okay?
All right. You be careful, okay?
You
I feel
too,
like she
Sean.
didn't do it in this point.
luck.
She did it a bit later somehow, or like I feel like we
Oh.
got caught by the guy last time, so I
Oh, okay.
can't remember how it went
that's
down.
good. Yeah, she fine.
She's like, "Fuck this
she does.
shit."
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
Karen.
does a little arson.
When?
As a-
How?
as a
Oh, it's
treat.
over there.
No, you're all clear.
Awesome. Talk later.
Arthur, please stop screaming. How do I get out of here? How do?
Up there?
Yeah.
It's way back to the front of the church.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought she'd set fire to this one, not over there.
No.
Oh, okay, so she sent fire to something else as well, okay.
No, the church is burning when you're leaving it at the end of the episode, but yeah, she sets fire to something.
Mission
Oh, yeah,
answers?
then I hadn't seen
Yep.
that last time. Okay.
Now the hard part.
Did you find what Jacob needed?
Yeah, Faye mentioned that in their
And a
pros and
whole
cons
lot
list of
more.
Karen.
Thanks for the help.
I did see the burn
That
it down
was
thing, but for some reason I
pretty
thought that
sweet.
was just like this
try.
bit in the actual
Huge.
church.
Oh no, 'cause she doesn't
Did
do
well.
that.
Hey,
No.
I'm
Accident.
here if you need me, Sean.
I know, Karen. Thanks.
No problem.
Sorry, Reverend. You won't be hiding behind that cross for much longer.
Just wanted a nice little moment for the still of the video. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So
A little bit of
know what you're gonna
framing, you
do?
know?
No. But let's do it.
Oh Lord, let your power speak through this young vessel. I am your humble
Sean,
servant and will obey
the hell is
your
this?
every command. Speak to
Oh
me.
yeah, about
Daniel,
that.
I told you, he's kind of special.
Hey,
But also,
Sean!
you know,
You came back?
Karen is
And
the
I know.
mother of
Little cub.
the angel.
Come
is
with me,
also
Daniel.
something that you could read some
We're leaving.
religious
What?
parallels into.
No,
Yeah.
Potentially.
I'm not going anywhere.
she's full of shit, dude. And she's using you.
Daniel has made his choice, Sean. But I'm offering you to join us again. Put your faith in me, and you'll be family.
Never.
So that's your final decision.
Absolutely fucking
May the
not.
Lord have mercy on your lost soul.
Doesn't need
It's
to.
time for you to leave
May the
our
Lord have
sanctuary,
mercy on you, you
right
heinous bitch.
now.
Not without my brother.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. She's my family now.
Daniel, listen. She's not your family.
That white woman isn't your mother. This
have
white woman is.
She came here.
You ain't my mother! Yes, I am!
Praise the Lord. Another miracle at our church. Wonderful.
Shut up, Elizabeth.
God,
It's
be
all right,
quiet.
Daniel. Go see her. I mean, she's right there. Don't be afraid.
Why would she be afraid?
I don't know her.
Of course. I know. This is hard for you, my son.
Stop calling him that. You're just manipulating him, you sicko.
That's in the eye of the beholder. But since you
Tis
are
not.
his mother,
No.
let me ask you.
Pretty objective.
How could you let your child wander alone in the wilderness? Where were you when Daniel was lost?
This track is also
Where?
bad.
Listen, Daniel. I came here as soon as I found out you were here on your own.
I'm not on my own.
Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from Him. You were blessed with a divine gift. And you cast him out into the world.
I wonder if
Who the hell
she...
are you?
That's
might
maybe a
have been
weird
his mother
observation to make
once,
from what
but
she
when
just
you-
said, but like, can she have children? Felt
don't
like
know.
that felt loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting point. I don't know. Maybe we did see the picture of her with those two white children, but we weren't sure if
I mean, they
were
could
hers
be
or-
as we've seen. Those could be any white children.
could be any fucking white children.
You
But also,
abandoned him.
Sorry.
she does have an extra room in her house.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Don't know.
Maybe there's something going on there.
Unless her children have been taken from her somehow, or maybe they
Or-
died. I don't know.
Or left, or
Yeah.
died, or.
Don't know.
Hmm.
You also gave up your rights.
Isn't your God all about forgiveness?
Exactly.
You have no
Arthur is
idea
really screaming
what the
tonight.
Bible says. How can you pretend
I mean,
to
the Bible
care about
is-
these two children?
Like,
It's
babes,
anyone
have
can
you
read it. Also, she literally grew up with religious parents. Arthur's saying "Free Palestine" right now, by the way, everyone.
Yeah.
As you can see.
Clearly.
You left them and your husband to seek out your base desires.
Daniel,
I felt
honey,
homophobic.
she's trying to trick you.
Indeed.
Please, think by yourself. You're smarter than this.
Daniel, she's responsible for what happened to your father.
You don't know anything. It was an accident. That's what this world is about. Accidents, injustice, pain. I'm just so sorry, Daniel. I know how much I hurt you and your brother by leaving. I know it's not enough, but I hope we can talk about this together.
This is a pretty good example of organs slaying.
That's what I've been trying to tell your brother. And I'm so glad he listened. You gotta trust us. She's
So yeah, this must
using
go
you
very
for her
differently if you
selfish desires.
if you don't trust Karen.
Daniel.
Yeah.
This time the choice is yours. Are you going to believe her or me? That's right.
Notice she says believe her or me rather than her like Sean or me, because he would have unquestionably been like, oh, I'll probably believe Sean. But like,
yeah.
You can't tempt Daniel from this garden. He'll stay with us.
ew.
His true
There's
family.
a lot to unpack in that.
And
that
we'll
felt-
never leave him.
Felt creepy.
Go to hell.
It is creepy.
No!
Why are you using Garden of Eden imagery right now?
Yeah, like,
Reverend, are you
not
okay?
this cunt.
Nicholas! They're heretics! Sent to desecrate our church! Okay, what now?
Don't you understand? This is over, Sean.
You have to talk to him. You can convince him, Sean.
I won't leave you, Daniel. Not here.
Don't be so stubborn, Sean. Your brother
This is
chose
such a banger.
his path.
Your friend, Sara Lee, she's very sick. And Lisbeth won't take her to a doctor.
What? She wouldn't do
This is
that.
pointless. Daniel knows who to trust.
Oh, he doesn't. That's what.
Oh,
you're-
this scene is brilliant. Like the music is perfect. Like the way that it like builds throughout the scene, and like this part of it makes you feel so tense, and then
Yeah.
it's good. Oh, it's good.
I don't know what to say here. I'm assuming faith in yourself is referring to Daniel. Like, have faith in yourself and your
Have
own
faith in yourself, and then I think not a real Christian is
Lisbeth.
attacking Lisbeth's Christianity. Maybe it's referring to the fact that she was kicked out of the church.
Maybe. I feel like I don't know. I personally, as a person, don't. I mean, I know what she is doing is not in the Bible, but I also don't really think I personally have the authority to say who a real Christian is or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with those words. I think that if it were me, I would, because like it's not something you get super in depth into in this game. Like we don't we don't really talk about religion loads with Daniel, but from what we have done and like the precedent that we have set, I would be like, this is not what Christianity is about. Like, if we'd had those conversations and stuff, but also because of who I am and how I would approach like parenting a child, then those are conversations that would have likely been had. So we would have the
language
ability and the language to have like a conversation that's like, this is not what it means to be a Christian, or like this is not what we believe it means to be a Christian.
I also worry as well that the not a real Christian thing could backfire on Sean because he has sinned, supposedly.
Yes, the track is titled Dust to Dust, which is a Bible reference, so ashes to ashes, dust to dust, which articulates
Funk
the
to
sentiment.
funky as well. Sorry.
Lol. Is basically, that's often recited when people are buried. Christians receive Christian burials, because it's reference to basically the idea that like we return, we are returning to the earth, and blah blah blah. And there's a very quite similar sentiment in Islam, Inna lillahi wa illahi rajiun, which translates to basically, we are from God and to him we return, and Muslims say this when someone has died.
Yeah, there are so many parallels. It's interesting, like between the two religions, like there is so much that is similar. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like Islam is the remix.
Yeah,
because it is.
Yeah,
like it literally is the remix.
The remix edition.
The final version.
Yeah.
Like it literally is. It's the final version.
Yeah.
The final remix.
I'm gonna say, yeah, faith in yourself.
Don't listen to her religious bullshit. You need to have faith in yourself, not in her.
But you said heaven and God existed. Why are you lying?
You're right.
Shit.
He's wicked, unfaithful.
It's presented like, I think the issue is that it presented those things as separate.
Yeah, like I didn't like that.
No,
I wasn't lying there. That's not what I...
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wouldn't have chosen the phrase like religious bullshit, because it obviously implies that any
religion is bullshit.
Is
yeah.
bullshit. But also, like the way that that's presented in the dialogue options doesn't really
reflect what it's gonna actually sound like.
Yeah, it doesn't reflect the idea that by saying have faith in yourself,
you're saying don't have faith in a religion.
Yeah, that you're gonna shit on religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know about that.
I'm gonna go, yeah, I think this is, you can do all of this.
This is a toxic community. She's cutting everyone from the world, keeping things secret. She wants to keep you to herself.
At least I can show my power out here. Show how strong I am. And no one is afraid.
You found your home here, Daniel. Don't let him trick you.
It's also interesting that Daniel says that though, because it kind of shows that he's really been struggling with like hiding his power.
Yeah.
And the fact that one of the reasons why he's been sucked into this is because like being able to just like
be himself
in a way. Yeah. And they're manipulating that.
Yeah. I think what would Dad say is what I would go with.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think Dad would say if he saw us right now? He wanted us to stick together.
I don't know. I want you to stay, but I'm not ready, Sean.
Oh no.
See what you have done.
Hey, Enano.
Back off.
No one is gonna keep me away from you.
I said stop!
God, this cunt. What is his deal? Fucking weightlifting for God? Like, what is he doing? He's just sitting there like pumping iron and like...
I came all this
He's
way
pumping
from
iron and being like, I hate brown people so much!
Whatever, if I need...
Sean!
He must learn.
Listen, I know I wasn't.
Yeah, for real. I think Karen could be doing something a little more right now, but I'm not sure what, though, to be fair.
Yeah, like, I don't really know what else she could do.
Don't listen to him. He left you just like that harlot did. Shut him up.
He can hit me as much as he wants. I won't give up on you.
Don't hit him. Don't let them
Like, maybe
do that,
trying to
Daniel.
physically intervene, but...
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just feel like the problem is this guy's so strong he probably just beat both of them up. It's not really gonna stop anything.
I would.
Yeah, arguably it's the principle of the
Seattle.
thing, but
Yeah, no, I know.
That would get us pizza.
But you are also
and
right.
snacks. Then pick the movie.
I'm grabbing a chair I see in the
There
back.
was
Yeah,
something
that's
about
true.
Yeah, no,
actually.
good idea. Good idea.
Always picked your movie. But I can't do that. All I can do now is fight.
Quiet! What are you waiting for?
We're the best team in Ano.
Stop
So
it!
we have to keep going
No!
forward.
What are you gonna kill him? Please!
There we go.
He's
Now
my
we've
brother!
got
You can burn down our church, but not our faith.
Daniel knows you're telling the truth. Don't
Karen has the
give
steel
up.
chair.
Nothing is gonna stop me, Daniel. We're brothers.
I know.
Dad always said our blood link was the most important thing. You know.
Please! Stop! Leave him alone!
Daniel, listen to him.
Yeah, I think you're right, Carmen Remy. Like,
Yeah, you are
yeah,
right.
I
Stop.
think you're right.
No matter what she does, I'll come right back. Again and again.
He is risen.
I love you, Daniel.
I do too.
Sorry, I'm just adding to my Sean is Jesus
Shut him
Yeah.
up! Now!
reading.
This is still like
move.
all I can think
Just
of
stop.
is like
If you
the
wanna
fucking
kill me,
I get knocked down
do it.
and I get up
I'm
again.
not afraid.
Do it! Shoot! Don't!
Go ahead. Shoot me in the face. And live with me.
Now!
That is a person who doesn't have anything to lose. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's not afraid of death anymore.
No, he's like, don't give a shit.
Sean,
I'll fucking haunt you.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I was so confused. Thought she was someone else. I'm sorry.
I don't think that
Sean,
this ever ends in a scenario
to
where
get out
Daniel
of here.
doesn't return to
Now.
Sean, though.
Oh no, yeah, no. I think it's honestly the irony is like I think it's her getting her encouraging that guy to shoot Daniel, to shoot Sean that is what turns Daniel. Like no matter what.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
why would you?
Started this.
I don't know. Like it goes against everything she's been saying, and like also it's Sean. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't think you
100%.
could ever. There's never a scenario where you can point a gun at Sean and Daniel's not going to be like, "Excuse me, what the fuck?"
What the fuck are you
Like,
doing? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
like there just isn't.
Shit could potentially be about to go down. We're about to see how shit goes down.
You will all burn in this hell. This is your fault. Yours.
Sean,
Wait. Daniel.
She really did try to use me. She hurt you. She's bad.
Okay, yeah, we've got this version. Have you seen this version before?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Oh
yeah,
no, maybe I didn't actually.
Because I think that you either get this version, or I think there's a version where Daniel doesn't even try this, but I don't remember.
Potentially, yeah. I was very lawful, quote unquote, last time, so it possibly.
And
I
then
think we just shoved her out the way.
Because I think that in the other version, Sean gets a gun, and Sean can
Yes.
kill Lisbeth or not.
I got the gun last time.
You got the gun last time. Okay, so this is a reflection of where Daniel is at.
Yeah.
Are we murdering today?
Well, before
What
we
are
go
doing
into
today?
that, I love this framing of like the line cutting across her.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Oh.
just across the throat.
Juicy. Yeah. But yeah, I think we talked about this in the second episode where Mushroom gets killed. this is the choice that parallels, or a choice that parallels that decision of like you stopping Daniel from killing someone.
Yep.
And I mean, like, I hate her, but I'm also like, I don't particularly want to kill her. Like, she sucks, and I think, you know, I really don't, I don't know, I hate her, but that doesn't mean she should die.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I will not judge you either way, obviously, like, if you feel differently.
You know, we haven't committed any murder yet, have we?
No. No. I want a little murderous treat.
I don't know. I'm torn. I'm actually torn.
Just a little murder as a treat. I mean,
because in principle, I agree with you, but there's a little part of me that's like, ooh, like what if we leaned into the chaos? Who knows? I don't know. I got these options and let Daniel make his decision the second playthrough. Okay, interesting. I need to refresh my memory on.
Yeah, I mean that's true. He won't necessarily kill her if we don't intervene, right? Like, he might choose not to. Would you kill? Oh, or it is just straight up like.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember, Charlotte.
Should we just kill her? Just for vibes?
You know what? I'm kind of a little bit tempted.
I just want to see.
To see. So, I thought he did kill. Oh, I don't know.
Whether this is not necessarily going to be a reflection of our politics.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just operating on how I'm feeling right now.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean. Again, Sean has been fucking through it this episode, so, well, every episode. I don't know. I don't know if that's a lesson I want to teach Daniel is my main.
To, like, commit murder.
Yeah, like, I mean, unless, like, actively...
yeah, like, self-defense and stuff. Although we have expressed that we will be murdering cops.
Yeah. We're murdering cops. That's happening.
But that's also not quite the same, is it?
No, she is not a cop. She is a terrible person, but she is not a cop.
Yeah, so the thing is that I don't feel as sure about wanting to murder her as I feel about wanting to kill the cops and stuff, right? And I think that my only thing is like, I'm feeling a bit chaotic, but I'm not 100% either way.
I mean...
So I think that... I think I'd be happy to go with your judgment on this one.
So I'm often of the belief that, like, in these situations in games where if you spare someone often they suffer more. Like, you know how my stance on Life is Strange True Colors is to forgive whatever his name is.
Jed. Yeah,
because it hits more. And it's like, oh, that's gonna haunt him for the rest of his fucking days. Like, he's never gonna forget this.
For that one, I 100% agree. And having seen both, it's so much more... It's like, but beyond the political and moral conviction I have around it.
Yeah.
Forgiving Jed is so much more... Like, it packs so much more of an emotional punch.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it does. It just...
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to spare her.
I'm just trying to think of, like, will her church go against her after all this, is my question.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, we got Jacob and Sara Lee?
Yeah?
Question mark? Out of there, and I think that it's entirely possible that that you know, now Jacob is someone who has escaped the community and can tell the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Happened.
That is a good point.
So I think that it's entirely possible that Elizabeth gets her comeuppance.
Yeah, I think I'm just of the stance where I'm like, if she would be able to continue on doing what she's been doing, then I would rather kill her, but because I don't think she would be able to now, I'm happy to spare her. Does that make sense? Like, she can't continue to cause harm in that specific way.
Yeah, I don't think that I can politically justify this one.
Yeah, no, but...
I think it comes down to that. I don't think
vibes.
that I can politically or justify this murder, and I guess, like, at the end of the day, I guess I believe in transformative justice. I guess.
Sometimes it's so hard.
Sometimes it's so hard.
People just don't want to transform.
Some people don't want to transform. It's true. And then what do you do?
Headcanon Jacob meets Brody, and they write about living in a religious cult. Ooh, spicy. I love that. Okay, I think we'll spare Lisbeth. I think we have. It's not coming from my politics. It's coming from my desire for chaos, and that is valid.
Yeah, I mean, me too. That was the part of me that was like, ooh, what if we killed her?
I just feel like I don't want to teach Daniel that lesson.
Let's spare her.
I guess.
I think he'll listen to us.
Look what she did!
Because this is also indicative of our relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I think
he can ignore us.
He can ignore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust
Okay,
you.
good. You know, I think we're on track to get the good ending.
I think we are.
Let's go.
Oh, look at that.
Take me down to the river and bathe me clean. Oh, Song Hero goes really hard. The scene with music goes really hard.
They often do.
Yeah, they do. She's a manipulator and abuser. We don't know what happens after or if she gets comeuppance. I was feeling vindictive and chaotic in my second playthrough. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not judging anyone who does it. Like, fucking go.
Yeah, absolutely no judgment there. Because I think that, like, often when we play games like this and discuss the decisions we're making, we discuss our moral and political standpoint, which, you know, like we do try to represent abolition and transformative justice here at Game Assist. But sometimes we will also make it clear
be a little bit chaotic.
That, you know, it's a video game. It's not real life, so sometimes it's okay to be a little chaotic.
The drama of fucking Lisbeth being like crying and like screaming by the church, like, alright, honey.
Yeah, I know. It goes really fucking hard with the music though.
I can imagine. This is the end of the episode? Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. We didn't do it. We didn't take as long as I thought we would, considering the technical hiccups.
Only 8 hours.
Yeah.
Including the technical hiccup.
Yeah, I mean, technically only 7 hours.
Technically only 7 hours. Yeah, us too. That's part of why we like playing these games on this channel, is because there's so much opportunity to think and reflect on the choices that you're making.
Yeah, and these games lend themselves so well to the heart. It's like, oh.
Well, the song that plays here is really interesting as well, like thematically speaking. It's Meaning by Cascador, and the lyrics are
they
like
love
quite
each other
moving.
so much.
They do.
I'm fine.
Oh, pal. Something burning church, symbolizing Daniel's mentality and faith. Something. Yeah, I. It's not. So it's not really something that comes up again in episode 5. I don't think, like the idea of faith. It's interesting because, like, I guess again, like, I know that I'm religious, and I would want to teach my children about religion, and that's one of the things that I've talked about is being part of my perspective in this game. And we, up to for most of this, have made the choice to although, to be honest, it's only a handful of choices really throughout the whole game. Like, we've made the choices to kind of pray and say that heaven is real and all of these things. I think it would be really sad for me if it would be understandable, but I think it would be really sad for me if this experience colored Daniel's feelings about faith in a way that made him stop believing, if believing is something that he wants to do.
Yeah, I think yeah, I hope it doesn't. Like, I feel like if I ever did have kids, I personally would want them to feel like they could choose, and I would try and teach them about religions, and have conversations with them about it. And if they wanted to pray, I would help them do so and things like that. Like, I wouldn't want to, I think, I wouldn't want to make them, and this applies to any kids I am related to or have any kind of relationship with. Like, I would never want any kid to feel like they couldn't, and I think that the way Sean deals with this is good. But yeah, like, I just I hope, because I think Daniel does come to this with considering, like, I don't know, in I think it's episode 2 where he starts talking about it, he does say, like, that he wants to, no matter what Sean says, like, that he wants to pray, or he believes in God, or he believes his dad's in heaven. So
yeah, for sure. I think that, like,
not squashing that is good.
Yeah, because I think that it makes so much sense, and we talked about this with Jacob, like, and for so many people, like, an experience like this is horrendous and traumatic, and religious trauma is very real and very horrific thing, and it makes so much sense that it would, like, color people's feelings about religion in general, or their, like, personal faith and stuff. And it's like, I want to be very clear that, like, obviously, well, not obviously, but I do want to be very clear that, like, if you don't believe in God, obviously that's fine. But I think that it's very sad to me when it's that someone experienced a horrible religious community, and that's like, maybe made them feel like that's not an option for them, or it's just something that they associate with pain and trauma, and that's the thing that I think is sad. Because again, like, I would also want to echo the sentiment that, if I had kids and I taught them about my faith, and I told them about religion in general, and they decided that they didn't believe in God, I would be fine with that, of course. Like, that's their decision. But I think that it's just so sad to me that
for someone to have faith and then it feel like they were losing it because of something like this.
Yeah, because, like, in the first place, obviously this kind of trauma is not something that anyone should experience, and is absolutely horrible.
And I mean, like, for Jacob, like, 5 years of conversion therapy, I can, like, only fucking imagine how, like, because I mean, conversion therapy is so emotionally violent. Like, it's violent, but it's so emotionally violent. Like, it is literally teaching you to gaslight yourself 24/7. Like, it is so reprehensible. Like, it just, there is no redeeming aspect of it at all. Like, it is truly emotional manipulation to the, like, nth degree. And to have 5 years of that is just, to think about that is horrendous. And yeah, it does make so much sense with, like, the way he is and everything he's been through. But it's also, like, he's been so isolated because of this community, so there was never any other place he could go.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that it'd be interesting to see if it ever does come up in episode 5.
Yeah, well, we can look out for it when we next stream.
Yeah. Okay. Choices.
Pass both of the tests, baby.
Nice.
Hell
I've
yeah.
never done that.
I don't know how I managed that. I think I got one. I managed to get the, like, depth perception one time, so maybe.
You did. Yeah. That was enough.
Yeah. Everyone dubbed Finn in. Fair play. Everyone should. Correct take.
Also because it's true.
Yeah, it's just true.
It's just true.
Well, like, yeah, but I guess it's like it doesn't always have to, especially when it's, like, comes to, like, solidarity against police. Like, it depends on the situation, right? But, like,
no, you're right.
In this particular situation, it is true and it is the correct thing to do.
No, you're right. You're right to point that out. And as we said earlier, actually, our ideal fourth option that isn't here is that we wouldn't have said anything to the police at all.
Yeah. Flores can fuck off. She should not be talking to him without a lawyer present or a guardian. And a guardian. Both. Escape the hospital without hurting anyone. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I did not manage that last time. I definitely beat some people over the head with a bar. I don't think it was Joey. I definitely attacked the guard, though. I talked to Finn and blamed him for what happened in Humboldt. Interesting how low that is. Most people forgive him.
Yeah, it looks like out of the people who see him, there's 2 options.
Yeah.
So either he wasn't at the hospital because he's dead.
Yeah.
Or he was at the hospital but you didn't talk to him.
Yeah.
Which is presumably if you take one of the other routes.
Yeah, different route.
And then out of the people who did see him, it's a huge difference.
Oh, you can kiss him.
Yeah, I thought you could kiss him. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to tell you this, Carmen Remy. This is a Finn hate club.
Yeah.
Like
This is
really, really, truly a Finn hate club.
We do not.
Yeah.
But I guess that does make sense as an action if you did go along with the plan. But I just simply couldn't be me personally.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a romance Finn route, then it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Couldn't be us though.
No. I would only ever do that under strict, if I was having to do it for a video or... Oh yeah, that's fair enough, Carmen. Like, I
totally
respect giving things a go just for the sake of it. Okay. Broke Daniel's toy by taking it back from Chad. Fucking Chad. When were you not asked to sing a song?
Perhaps you are not asked to sing a song if you speak Spanish before. You know how before he asks you to sing, he's like, say this in Spanish, say this in Spanish.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, interesting.
So there are a few times he's like, say this in Spanish.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm pretty sure even if you say that, you still get the same situation. But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, maybe.
Hi, Arthur. Screaming. Can you hear him?
No.
Arthur.
Okay, it's quite split, that one. but
No, he's off.
it looks like most people refuse to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a quite in-depth conversation about that one, and we did refuse to.
Yeah,
refuse to sing.
definitely. Oh god, imagine if you hadn't gone to the truck. I can only imagine that would have been horrendous.
It's pretty stark. 91% of people.
Yeah.
I think that kind of shows how much like people are like feel the desperation that they're like.
Definitely.
You know,
especially after
what
everything
am I
that's
gonna
just
do?
happened as well.
Yeah.
We didn't give money to the church. 69%. Nice. Overall, we tried to let Karen open up to us, and
That one's really stark as well.
yeah,
93% is huge.
it is. I think possibly because we've kind of heard about Karen beforehand, but we haven't. This is like us meeting her. I think most people are probably quite curious.
I think so.
I would guess.
I think that like episode 2 probably really colors your feelings going
Yeah,
into
and like
meeting
it makes
Karen.
you think, oh, I kind of want to know why, you know, especially with the context of like her parents, like, oh,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I think you're right, Carmen Remy. I definitely remember feeling like when I was playing it for the first time, like I was so curious about Karen. Like when we met her for the first time, I was like shook, and I was like, you know, this is the person that they've been alluding to for ages.
Yeah.
And you finally get to meet her, and you finally get to talk to her.
Yeah, especially real time, like playing this real time as well, and like having all
Yeah.
those months between each episode. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
So for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense, Carmen Remy. When I first played, I didn't understand Karen at first, and I wanted to cut her off. Now that I'm older and replayed, I wanted to know the reason behind it. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah. Like, I think it's one of those things where I, as a younger person, probably would have also been, like, shutting her down. But...
It's funny because, you know, the institutional racism video essay, obviously it which is on our YouTube channel for people who don't know, there we get a lot of, you know, comments on that, a lot of varying natures, and quite a lot of people are like, bruh, this video is stupid because of whatever reason. There's been some Karen discourse on that video, and quite a few people were quite shocked by the stance that I took on Karen, which was overall rather sympathetic. There's quite a bit of surprise that I read Karen as queer coded as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like an obvious thing. It's not like slapping you around the face, but I think it is just like, if you're thinking a lot about Karen, you can read it that way. And if you're prone to reading people as queer, as we might be, yeah, I mean, for me, I was like, her clothes, her hair, I was like, she's a bit gay.
It's
like,
the clothes, it's the hair, it's everything she's talking about the way that she feels, and it's also that like one kind of fruity interaction in episode 5.
Yeah, and
the
like
other
she
woman.
has a lot of like photos with women in her like caravan and stuff, doesn't she? Like, yeah, we'll talk about it when
I'm glad that chat is is in agreement about that.
Yeah. We stayed outside with Karen when she smoked. Oh,
Hi,
KBK
Clips 6969. Nice.
Hi.
Thank you for the follow.
Welcome in. Sorry, my cat's yelling. We stayed outside with Karen while she smoked. I did want to have a cigarette with Karen. It just decided for me for some reason.
It's just a timed event. For
yeah.
some reason.
Who knew? Who knew? It's like, it's so weird which ones are timed and which ones aren't sometimes.
I think that you said this before, but it would be nice to have an indicator that it's timed.
Really nice, because I often just assume it's going to be fine, and then I start talking, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's decided it.
9 times, wow.
Damn.
This is for me like maybe a 3rd or 4th.
This is my 2nd time. Karen dresses like Chloe without the beanie, so real.
I feel like I can imagine older Chloe
As like a little
looking
crunchy
crunchy
hippie.
granola hippie.
But with like
no, but like okay, but
no, Max would be the crunchy hippie.
yeah, yeah.
Chloe
and
would be the
Chloe
old
would be
elderly
like an
punk.
old punk.
Yeah, it'd be great.
She'd have these like faded tattoos.
Yeah,
like dyed.
she'd definitely have a
hair with grey
motorbike.
roots.
Like
yeah,
a sleigh. We accepted Karen's help to clean up our wound. Karen doesn't offer her help. It must be if you kind of push her away immediately, I guess.
Yeah, from playing it this time. I really am quite curious to play this again and like reject Karen. Just like be really, really standoffish with Karen, just for curiosity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I want to see what that's like.
Yeah, Nicholas was unaware of our presence. Hell yeah. We shared our money with Jacob. We managed to hide from Nicholas. Also 69%, nice. So, you and Daniel both spared Lisbeth's life. So the other options are, you shot Lisbeth while Daniel wasn't hurting her.
4%.
You let Daniel unleash his power on Lisbeth while he was hurting her. You and Daniel both spared Lisbeth's life. Or you shot Lisbeth while Daniel was hurting her. Damn.
Yeah, so I really need to rewatch the endings of this episode because it's like quite crazy.
Yeah, they're quite different.
Because there's a scenario where like Daniel isn't hurting her and you can decide to shoot her or not. But
which is I think the choice I got last time.
Right, okay.
Because Daniel wasn't gonna hurt anyone ever, basically.
Yeah, because you encouraged him to be lawful. Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so obviously the next two are the scenario that we were in. But then what is the scenario where Daniel is hurting her and we also get the gun and he's holding her and we shoot her? That's really fucked up.
There's so much happening there. Like, fucking hell.
That's fucking intense. Like, in what scenario are we getting Daniel to, like, hold her and then we shoot her? That's fucked.
Like, I don't know where there's a situation. Maybe it's the situation where they don't have a close relationship, so Daniel wasn't listening to Sean, and Sean somehow got the gun off someone. Maybe it's if they have a bad brotherly relationship and you've been teaching Daniel like unlawful quote unquote things. Yeah. Which is unlikely that anyone in chat probably have experienced that because of that, because that's probably why. Like, I can't imagine how else that could have happened.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think in my first playthrough I had the last option and I remember not wanting Daniel to have blood on his hands. Right, so Daniel's gonna kill her anyway and either you shoot her or you let him kill her.
That makes more sense. But still, damn.
I have seen that before, but I like was struggling to remember the scenario in which it happens. It's fucking intense, yeah.
Yeah, the difference in intimacy from directly shooting to allow someone else to strangle her is interesting. That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I obviously haven't seen the clip where Daniel does kill Lisbeth, but I imagine that's quite horrendous as like a thing to watch.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's really brutal.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Watching someone like be strangled, like basically be crushed by Daniel's power must be, especially in like the kind of reading of like the way Daniel's power is like showing his own power, that must, and like some of the times where, you know, Sean is quite scared of Daniel's power, I think that would have been quite interesting to watch. But yeah, damn.
At the point that I needed the months break, at that point I needed the months break between episodes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's so valid. I get it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's episode 4.
I'm curious, how big does the episode 2 mushroom moment affect this? Yeah, I do wonder. Yeah, don't know.